This is the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast, a show to help independent UK-based HR consultants get a pipeline of perfect fit, high-paying clients without expensive adverts, time-consuming social media activities, or energy-sapping and monotonous networking meetings. I'm your host, Nick Paninsky, author of How to Land Your Dream Client, a book which explains everything you need to know to get every sale and client you ever want. And if that sounds interesting, then make sure to grab your copy from the influential consultant website today. That being said, let's get into today's show. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants with me, Nick Paninsky. Today's show is a little bit different because I'm doing it as a video first. So that really means if you're watching along on video, you're going to get more than somebody who's just listening along as a podcast. Now, that's not to say that if you are listening along as a podcast, you're going to miss out. What that means is this show is a live website review. So visually, it's going to be a bit more impactful than listening along as a podcast. That being said, let's talk about what today's show is. Today's show, I've been asked by Louise, my friend, to review her website. And I said to her, I will more than happily do it, but I want to be able to share the review as a video, as a podcast with my audience. And she said, go nuts. So here we are. We are going to live review her website. Now, before I get into it, I do want to say I've got something very exciting coming down the line. So you will need to keep your eyes peeled. It's called the HR Consultant Command Center, or in fact, I'm going to call it the Consultant Command Center. It's basically everything you need for your website set up and ready to go. Just all you need to do is click your fingers and it's all there. So we are talking best practice layout, best practice design, best practice pages. There's going to be an email listing built. There's going to be a shop there as well so that you can sell things while you're not even in the room. It is basically everything you need from a website, just set up, packaged, ready to go. And it comes with two options. Either A, we can write the copy for you and it's all there and all you need to do is approve it, or B, you can write the copy yourself. Either way, if you are interested in getting the best website so that you can show it off with pride, anybody you ever meet can immediately join your mailing list because there's a page set up specifically for that, then yeah, hit reply on the hit reply. This is a video or a podcast. DM me on LinkedIn, reply to one of my emails, whatever it is you want to do. Yeah, we can have a conversation about what that looks like and whether or not it's right for you. That also, if you want to review your own website, there is a website checklist in the show notes. You can do your own website checklist. You can get your own insight. That being said, let's get into today's show. Let's talk about websites. Okay, so first up, the big important piece of a website, when somebody lands on your website, you've got about 2-3 seconds to explain who it is, who it's for, what you do, and what to do next. So there's 3 things that you want to do inside that 3 seconds. Now, Louise is on her website, Go HR. She's kind of doing the third one we've got here, Get in Touch. Nice, really nice colors there, Get in Touch, pink and orange there. I would really love to see that in the top right-hand corner. A big, let's change the colors, contact us. Because at the moment, contact us is just the same as the rest of the menu. And it's not as prominent in that menu as it is, above the fold, as we say, that first bit. So I'd love to see that contact us in the menu bar a bit more prominent, because that's presumably what she wants people to do. She's got it here, Get in Touch. It goes to a contact page, contact us. So before I move on, so we've got this practical HR support designed for growing businesses. Okay, I mean, that's fine. It's nothing It's nothing flashy. It's nothing showy. I know Louise, so I know that she is her business is a bit bigger than a solo HR consultant. She's got a few associates. She's got a few staff members. So when I say, you should be niching, you should have a target market in mind when you're doing your marketing. When you get to the reason for that is that it's much easier to get leads and clients. Eventually, you get to a certain level of income, stature, status, whatever it is, where niching becomes a little bit less important. You can broaden out because you can spend more to get those leads on adverts. I mean, let's say, for example, if you wanted to do lead generation and you were just starting out, you should have a niche, because then that helps you understand who it is you're supposed to be working with. They understand they're supposed to work with you. When you get to a certain size, it's less important because you have more money, you have more credibility, you can invest more in adverts and other methods of lead generation to get those clients, right? So it becomes less important as you grow as a business. So I'm not going to tear Louise apart for not having a niche, not having that there. So we've got practical HR support designed for growing businesses. That's fine. No problem with that whatsoever. It's, I think about, there is a HR lady, House of HR, she's called Rachel something or other. She's got this really cool brand where it's kind of, I wouldn't say brash, but it is like it's like kind of rock and roll type thing. That's a really cool brand. It stands out. What I would say, if I'm being honest with Louise, is brand, with her colors, with her stuff, it's nice. There's nothing that makes me go wow, but that's okay. It doesn't need to necessarily do that. I guess my point is, right now, when I look at this, there's nothing that makes me go, okay, I'm in. So, yeah, we're starting off. When it comes to marketing and sales, we've got you meet somebody, they're a stranger, they are 0 out of 10. You need to move them over to being a 10 out of 10. That's when they pull their their wallet out of their pocket and hand over their cash. Now, marketing does as much work as it does, and then sales needs to pick up the slack. So if marketing does 5, then sales needs to do the rest of the 5 out of 10. If marketing does 9, then sales only needs to do that last marker. Whereas if marketing just does 1, then sales needs to pick up the slack. So at the moment, her marketing, her branding, it's okay. There's nothing flashy about it. It is what it is. So here we go. So practical HR support designed for growing businesses. What I will say, Louise, there's this bit here. I've highlighted it. It is the subsection. I know I'm reviewing your website right now, and I don't want to read it. My brain is refusing to let me commit to reading it. And I'm actually supposed to be reading it. So I'll just tell you that it's too long immediately. You need to shorten it. It needs to be a bit clearer. But we've got Go HR provides flexible HR solutions tailored to the needs of small and medium-sized enterprises, whether you want full support, collaborative guidance, or the tools to manage HR in-house. It's far too long. You need to make that a lot more succinct. It also could do with saying something a bit different. We've already got practical HR support designed for growing businesses. That is exactly the same as what you've said below. Unless you're going to say something markedly different, I'd say just get rid of it. Just have the get in touch business, whatever it is. So that's above the fold. Then above that, we've got all the menu. So we've got the Go HR logo, top left, nice and small. I like that. Some people make the mistake of throwing their logo so big. Like, nobody cares about your logo. I assure you. I know you spent a lot of time creating it on Canva, or you spent a lot of time, money, effort creating your logo. No one cares. Really sorry to tell you. You're not Nike, you're not Amazon, you're not McDonald's. Your logo doesn't mean anything. It is just taking up valuable space. So if you do have your logo really prominent on your website, make it succinct. It doesn't really help you like you think it does. The bit that we've got here along the top of the menu is so many options, Louise. We've got home, why go HR, what we do, sectors we work with. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. then resources and support, then news, then about us, then join us, then contact us. Whew. There is a lot of pages there. And that can be, overwhelming, right? We got that paralysis analysis. If we have too many options, we choose none. There's information overload, information overwhelm. As much as you have done this on purpose, right? So you think that you are doing the right thing. So I don't want to be, harsh with you here, but there's too much there. There's far too much. For me, when I'm designing the websites for the consultant command center, we have the home, then we have about, then we have work with me, and then we have contact us. And in work with me, these are where we list out your services, but we don't say services or what we do. We say work with me. There's kind of a little bit of an instruction, right? There's a little bit of subtlety there. We've chosen those words specifically because, it's a bit of subliminal messaging, a bit of Darren Brown, a bit of work with me. And then there's a contact page. So I would say, can we make some of these pages a bit more, the menu options a bit more succinct? There's nothing wrong with having lots of pages on your website, but along the menu, you want to make it clear and easy for someone to navigate. And then you can have these sub pages linked out from the others. So for example, if you had the about, which you've got third from last, and then you had Why Go HR, what we do, resources and support, news, you could throw all that under about us. When someone clicks on about, they could have sections about those bits, and people can click on the link to go to the next page to find out more information, so that somebody is going on a journey rather than being presented. It's kind of like right now, someone's visited your website and there are so many options for them, right? It's like getting on a map, and there are 50 doors in front of them, and that can be overwhelming because you're like, I don't know which door, I don't know what you want from me. Whereas if you, for example, just put 3 or 4 doors in front of them, and then they walked through one door, and then we're presented with another 4 doors or another 3 doors or whatever, or the option to go back, you're making it a lot easier for somebody to find the information that they want to find, right? So I'm going to scroll down anyway. So that's a lot of work just on the above the fold section. So what have we got now? We got our HR services. We offer free, clear ways to work with us depending on the level of support you need. Okay, I like that. I would say that you don't really need it. You can just put our HR services. Personally, I'd put work with us or your options, something along those lines. But what you've got here is when it says we offer free, clear ways to work with us depending on the level of support you need. Again, it's too much, but it also adds nothing. You've got our HR services, and there are free options. You don't need any more than that. I can infer that there are free ways to work with you because there are free boxes. So yeah, you can get rid of that sub headline. One thing that I want you to take away with you is people don't read websites, people scan them, right? So when I was talking at the start, you've got 3 seconds to tell someone what you do, who you do it for, and why and how to get in contact with you. The other part of that is when somebody's on your website, they don't read it word for word. They're not, no one's ever reading it. They will only read it if they think it is for them, right? There's this argument out there in the marketing world, people don't read sales pages or websites anyway. People will read if they think it will serve them, right? People read books. I read books. I'm in a book club. People read books. Newspapers. People read newspapers, right? People read. There are blogs on the web, on the internet, So that's a nonsense. People do read, but they will only read if it serves them. So, right, you've got to make it really easy for someone to want to read something, right? So people won't read unless they are clear that will serve them. So that being said, you need to decrease the amount of content. Here we go. We've got done for you, done with you, do it yourself. And then we've got complete outsourced HR, collaborative HR support, HR tools, templates, and trainings. And then below that, we've got loads of copy. Now, I would urge you, I like what you've done here. We've got this clear value ladder. We've got done for you, done with you, do it yourself. I like that. I would say that you need to make it a bit easier for somebody to understand what it is that is on offer, and then click the bottom, the button, to then go and get more information. Right now, we have got so much information that it makes it difficult to read it. I don't want to read it. And if I don't want to read it, and I'm supposed to be reading it, whereas a stranger is like, well, why would I read all that? So I would say shorten this up. You could probably just get done for you, complete outsourced HR. Ideal for SMEs without an internal HR team. Without a HR team, we don't need the word internal. Employers navigating complex or sensitive businesses seeking long-term strategic HR input. Whoever's written the copy for this, I do apologize if this is you. Whoever's written this has used so many big words. You want to make your website really easy, and stuff in general, in fact. You want to make whatever you're writing really easy for the reader to read, right? We want... write it at the level of a 10-year-old. That's one of the prompts I give my ChatGPT. Write at the level of a 10-year-old. People want things to be easy to read. Using big words doesn't help anyone. It makes it really difficult, because then there's that moment where you have to process the word to understand it. And every time you add to that frustration that somebody's feeling, you are making them want to click away from your website, never to return again. So I would say make these words easier. We've got navigating complex or sensitive staff issues. That word navigating can be, I wouldn't, off the top of my head, I can't make that change for you. But as a general, you need to make the wording easier to understand. You need to make it clearer. You need to make it more succinct. So here we go. We work alongside your business, offering expert advice, clear documentation, and hands-on support where needed. This option is ideal for business owners or internal teams who want to stay involved but benefit from professional guidance and a second opinion. And then we've got ideal for in bullet points beneath. Now, I would say your second really long sentence there, by the way, is exactly the same as those bullet points. Then the first sentence, we work alongside you, offering expert advice, clear documentation, and hands-on support where needed. Well, that is the same as saying done with you. So why are you saying it again? I'd say just put ideal, make it succinct. What is collaborative HR support in less than, I don't know. Make it more succinct. Make it so that somebody wants to click on that. What is collaborative HR support? What is complete? What is done for you, done with you, do it yourself? That is all you need. Ideal for, make it nice and succinct. Somebody can opt in. They understand the words done for you, done with you, do it yourself. Fine. And then the buttons that call to action, we got done for you, DIY. So there's a typo there, because that second one should be HR done with you. But I would say just change those words to find out more rather than saying it. Then we've got HR solutions for UK businesses. We specialise in working with small businesses as their outsourced HR partner, either on or retained. Our teams are based in and work with clients for the whole of the UK. We work blah, 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 blah. Louise, too many words. Equally, this stuff is, yeah. I mean, this stuff is kind of more or less repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. So I would say pull that out. HR solutions for UK businesses. Boom. That should be at the top of your website. Rather than practical HR support designed for growing businesses, just put HR solutions for UK businesses. Just put that and then put get in touch. And then have our HR services, that done for you, done with you, do it yourself, get the bullet points, get the call to action. Somebody can then go and find out more information. Pull this HR solutions for UK businesses out, get rid of it. Trusted by our many clients. Love this with all these brands that you have worked with, that you've helped. And then the testimonials below, straight from Google reviews. Amazing. Great work pulling this together. I love this. This tells everybody that you can be trusted. We've got reviews going back for a while here. Then we've got all these different brands. This says you can be trusted. And that is really important, because when somebody meets you, they're a stranger, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. But we're edging into this trust, right? By including all this information. Then we've got the award-winning HR advice and support. We've got all these cool awards. That's really cool. I like that. Stay in the know. We like to keep our clients up to date with all of the latest industry news and trends. To find out what's new in the world of HR, go to HR's blog. Do you know, I really thought you were going to have a mailing list sign up form there. And I would love to see you with a mailing list sign up. Mailing lists are the second, third most important piece of marketing for anyone who's, self-employed or not. A mailing list is like a cheat code, you can get people onto your mailing list. You can stay in touch with them. It's how you avoid feast or famine, right? It's how you build up a pipeline of leads and clients. If you've got a mailing list, you have got people who want to hear from you. You are able to build a relationship with them in what feels like a one-to-one format, but you're doing it en masse. So yeah, get a mailing list. Get a mailing list. Then we've got the thing at the bottom. We've got 2 phone numbers. We've got an email. We've got 3 social medias. Quick links. Fine. Client portal, like that. So I would love to see an about section on this here somewhere. Who's Louise? Who's Go HR? You don't have to go into it too much. And I like the picture of you on the homepage. But I do want to see a little section of, who you are, so that I can then click the button at the top in your menu, about, and find out more. But also on this homepage, a homepage should be laid out with the information that someone can just scroll through and then click onto the bit that they want to find out more about. So we should know who you are, what you do, and what to do next. So I like that we've got the options of potentially working with you. I like that we've got all these trust and these review and these award winnings. Where is the section that says who Go HRR? HRR. Where's the section about Louise? Hey, I'm Louise. Thanks for checking out my website. We'd love to have a chat with you, something along those lines, I don't know. Click this button to find out more. And then they get taken to a section where they can find out about you, because that's how they begin to know you and like you. About section is really important. It's such an important section of people's websites, and they overlook it. And they think that when they click on the about section, it should list all their qualifications and whatever. What you should do with an about page is tell people why they should hire you without telling them why they should hire you. So your about section should be written with the perspective of, I am telling you information that you need to know about me, but in a way that is a story that is I'm not bragging, it's just, these are some facts and they're really cool and you should find out about them. So let's have a quick look. I'm conscious I've been going on for a while. So why Go HR? We're on this page now. Honest, authentic, and ethical advice. Then we've got a picture of you and your mate. It's cool. I like that. Andy Barnes. We've got a testimonial. We've got, wow, another big chunk of HR text. Then I'm not read it. At Go HR, we help businesses by providing practical options to people challenges. We've said this earlier. I don't think we need to say that again. We provide this support through highly experienced senior HR professionals who are dedicated to finding business-focused solutions for your business. Yeah, too much. Also, where's the section about who you are? Louise, we're on the Why Go HR section. I think what you're trying to do is, you could probably merge this with an about section, but there's so much work here that says, why work with us? Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs about why someone should work with you, which doesn't do what you think it should do. Like, what you're trying to do there is saying who you are and why you should be trusted. And then we've got Why Go HR, and then we've got these, I guess, their values. I don't know. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 with loads of copy beneath it. Yeah, and there's big chunks of text. So there's a lot going on here. So I'm just going to skip over it and say that this all needs to be made more succinct. Then we've got book a call and breathe. We know the world you work in, tight deadlines, tight budgets, no time for HR speak. That's why we keep things simple. One conversation is usually enough to get you moving in the right direction. If you need more support, we can get involved as often or little as you need. So this is really interesting. We know the world you work in, tight deadlines, tight budgets, no time for HR speak. No time for HR speak. And then you go on for another 2 sentences to say why someone should book your call, as well as this is at the bottom of a page where we've got so much writing. Yeah. Okay. We've got a book your 30-minute. Yeah. So I guess going back to my point here, there's too much. There's too much. Then we've got a call to action. Book your free 30-minute HR consultation today. And then it says book your free 30-minute HR consultation today in the call to action. It's the same thing over and over, right, repeated. So if you told somebody that you know that they're short of time and then you're saying the same thing, 2 sentences, there's yeah. So that needs to be brought together. We don't need that twice. Okay, so now we're on what we do. We do the HR, you focus on your business. We overcome people challenges. When it comes to HR advice, we've got you covered, whether you need support in the absence of an in-house HR team or require more expert, in-depth advice for specific issues facing your business. Rest assured that Go HR is here to help in the most reliable, honest, and efficient way possible. Woo! Too long. Then get in touch. You don't need this page. You don't need this page. What can HR do? What can Go HR do for you? We've got 4 paragraphs to explain what you've got below, which are basically HR services, new starter process, performance management, line management, and then, wow, so much copy. Louise, you're trying to prove that you know your HR stuff. Book a call and breathe. So much copy here. Get rid of this page. When it says what we do, I want to hear more about those packages that you offer. So get rid of this page. And when it talks about those packages earlier on, have that as the next page. HR support for construction and design businesses. Okay, so in construction, things move faster when people problems crop up. They don't wait for a policy review, whether it's a worker ignoring safety rules, someone's constantly turning up late, or tension brewing between trades on site. You need a solution you can act on right now. That's where we come in. Now, I don't mind. Oh, I like this. They need quick advice on a current issue. Talk to a HR advisor. That is gold, Louise. I want to see more of that. Need quick advice on I wouldn't say current issue, because it's going to be a current issue. But I do like talk to a HR advisor or talk to us now. One of those things. Need some quick advice? Talk to us now. And that immediately gets put through to you, because that is a hell of a lot more compelling than the last two paragraphs I've just read through. I like this. We offer a HR advice for construction companies like yours. We speak to business owners every week. You say the same thing. We're too small for an in-house, but this stuff is taking up wage. Maybe you're trying to deal with someone and you're not sure what. I would love these bullet points to be a hell of a lot more succinct, dialed in, not succinct, a hell of a lot more dialed in to the construction industry. We got HR support for design, construction and design businesses. I'm not sure if construction and design overlap. In my head, a design business is more like tech, or like, some guy at a laptop or something. And I like the pictures. You got the hard hats and the high vis. That's cool. So get rid of these first two paragraphs and just put, we offer HR advice for construction companies like yours. Then get these bullet points dialed in a hell of a lot more to the pain that the HR construction industries face, because that's all they're interested in. Someone comes to your website because they are in pain. They have got a problem and they want to have a solution. So when you talk to them about the pain and the solution, that makes them pay attention. That's what they want, right? These are the things that they want. They want to get away from the pain. They want more pleasure. You have spent most of your website talking about the bridge that gets them there, i.e. the HR services. They don't care about the HR services. They could not care less. They are interested in the pleasure and getting away from the pain. And then we've got specialist HR advice for the construction. We offer blah, 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 HR policies and compliance. We help constructions. There is... Yeah, you're repeating the same thing over and over. Just talk to them about the pain and then tell them to call them to action. I'm going to assume it's the same for the rest of your pages. HR support for retail businesses. Cool picture of you and your mate. Yeah, again, too much. Just talk to them about the pain that they're in and call them to action. It doesn't have to be like this, Maybe you experience this, and this. It doesn't have to be like this. Call us now. We'll get this problem sorted in less than half an hour. Boom. Then we've got hospitality and events businesses. Cool. Fair enough. And there's a picture of you and your mate in what looks like a hotel or something. I like that. Again, same thing with each of your sectors, and you want to focus on these sectors, no problem. But talk to them about the specific problems that they are going in, that they are experiencing. Financial sectors, you've got it here. Unsure how to legally change a commission or bonus structure. I like that, because that will be financial services. That's not going to be construction and design. So that's really cool. So, but whereas this bit, wondering if your contracts, policies or grievance procedures are up to date, they might be, but that's like very borderline. They probably don't. When then in actual fact, they're financial services. Interesting. Maybe they are. Maybe they are worried more about that. I guess you'd know better than I would about that. Because, yeah. And then, yeah, we've got so much more copy. We need to make this into a bit more of a structured story. Like if you want to do a bit of a sales page to each industry, no problem, but it can't be the same information repeated over and over and over and over again. So I'm just going to move on from that because I think I've laboured that point. Resources, business support. Resources and support. We've got a fun picture of you and your mate here. I quite like that. Again, same stuff as what was on Why Go HR or What We Do, right? It's the same stuff, but a little bit different. Performance management, line management skills, HR strategy, blah, blah, blah. Get rid of it. News. What do we got here? Is this your blogs? Okay. I like this. Blogging is really cool. Blogging is one of those things that really can help with SEO. So it's really useful. The good thing about a blog is it positions you as an expert. It's like, oh yeah, we got this really cool information. I want to find out more, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, I don't really know what's happening with the SEO world right now. I know that AI is taking over. Personally, I don't that often go on Google and Google for things much anymore. I generally tend to go for ChatGPT, and I know that is what is the current trend for everyone else out there, right? I've been watching all the videos online. Neil Patel, I don't know if you know that guy, he's like the expert on SEO, and he's talking about the fact that SEO is changing, right? So Google, for example, when you Google something nowadays, you get that AI summary at the top, right? Which kind of answers your questions, and then there's the normal search results after it. So how you get featured in those AI summaries, I don't know, because SEO isn't something I know about or something I'm particularly interested in. Personally, I would say, why spend all that money, on investing in SEO when you can just, give Google £5 to show your website as one of the search results at the top, one of the sponsored. Why spend thousands on SEO when you could just cheat, effectively, get your result to the top of the page without doing anything other than giving them £5 or whatever it is. So yeah, SEO is a commitment. You've got to keep blogging. And the idea of SEO is Google will show your website or your blog pages depending on what someone is searching for. And depending on what someone is searching for, they will show your site. If somebody clicks onto that and then stays on that page, Google then understands that that page answered that person's query, and Google is therefore more likely to show that page again, right, to somebody with the same search terms. That's how you get to the top of Google. But how to get Google to show that page in the first place, there's a bit of a dark art going on there. It's all a lot of back-end stuff, SEO keywords, etc. So for me, I would say, why are you blogging? Is it really that important to you in terms of, does it drive a return on your investment, is basically what my point is. Are you getting a return on your investment, or are you just doing it because you think that you should? Because I need to remove the blog from my website because I never use it. And Anyway, about us, finally got there. A wealth of unrivaled HR experience offering valuable support. Oh, I like that. Again, it's not written at a 10-year-old's reading level, right? So I would say, let's tone down the language, but I like the point that you're making. Our values, no one cares. Company aims, no one cares. Company background, no one cares. We've got a testimonial, which is cool. Paul Hamilton. I've noticed this on a few pages. You've got this testimonial kind of in the top right-hand corner of the page. That's cool. Let's get a picture of Paul Hamilton, because right now, Paul Hamilton is not a person to me. But if you put a picture of Paul Hamilton, I will know who I will realize that Paul Hamilton is a real person. That means that I'm more likely to believe that testimonial. You need a picture of the person. Right, meet the team. We finally got here. We believe in providing honest, authentic, and ethical advice to small and medium-sized businesses who need practical support to people challenges. And we've repeated this many times throughout this website, so I would love to see that not here. Just remove it. Then we've got a section about Louise, and then we've got Nicola Durose. This has been written about you as though it's the third person. Go HR was founded by Louise. And then we have teams based in Berkshire, Staffordshire and Warwickshire. This means we're now able to support businesses across the UK. We understand the SME world and get the trials and tribulations that business owners face. We do the HR so you can focus on running your business. Okay, that should not be in an area about you, Louise, because that is not about you. Equally, if we have teams based in Berkshire, Staffordshire and Warwickshire, then why am I only seeing 2 people? Because if you have more people in the team, great, show them off. But either way, you can remove that. All I want to know about is Louise Lithgow Dicker. That's all I want to know about. And I want to know about her experience and how that will help me get a better business. I want you to think about the word so that you, the words so that you. We offer, we do great HR so that you can sleep at night. I've worked in many high-profile blue-chip businesses, so you know I can give the best advice possible. You know, these are basic examples, but what I want you to take away from this is that there needs to be a reason why you're saying these things. Louise has worked in many high-profile blue-chip businesses from starting her career and rising to the position of people director with a PLC. Well, I don't care. Why are you telling me that? And I want you to, and I'm being brutal there because I want you to tell me why I should care about that, right? Because I can't infer, I mean, I can infer that myself, but the reader doesn't want to have to do any work. You need to tell them why they should care. Then we've got a book, Call and Breathe, and then we've got a link to your blog, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then we've got Join Us, monthly HR toolkit subscription, really long block of text, get trustworthy HR advice. What is the HR toolkit? What's included? Why choose our monthly subscription? How do I get this monthly subscription? I can't buy it from your website. Is that right? Well, that's a shame. I would love to be able to buy that directly from your website. Making money while you're not even in the room, that's amazing. That is like a cheat code. You need to make this into an online shop. And you need to make it clear why someone should buy this from you. Now, I want to be honest with you. It's really difficult to sell from the page. That's why I've written a 31-page Google Doc to sell my £4.63 book. I'm going to change the price at some point. And that's by the by. My point is, selling to a stranger is hard work. That being said, you can sell to people who know you, like you, and trust you. You know, they click on your website and they're like, oh, a monthly HR toolkit subscription. Interesting. And, you know, you can talk about this during your mailing lists, you know, what people have gone through with you, what they were struggling with, what they did. When you came along, you helped them, or the monthly HR toolkit subscription. Does it sound good? Call them to action, send them to this page, help them understand what the world they're living in looks like, what the world they're living in could be like, call them to action, tell them to buy the monthly HR toolkit. A hell of a lot of work for you. But, you know, that's business, that's life. Nothing comes easy, right? And then final page, we've got get in touch. We're here to help. Simply fill in the form and we'll get back to you. You can send an email or give us a call on 2 different phone numbers to chat to us today. Woo! Just out of interest, on all the other pages, when it said, it said book a half an hour call somewhere. Can I book a call in your diary? Do I have that option? It said book a free half an hour, book your free 30-minute consultation. All right, okay. Yeah, okay, so telling people to book their free 30-minute consultation and then sending them to a page where they have to fill out information or send an email or call you on one of the 2 phone numbers, bit confusing. If I want to book a half an hour, then I would love to be able to, if that's what I want, then I would love to be able to just access your Calendly. So I'd like that a bit more succinct. Then we've got this contact page where I have to fill in my information. Fine. I would love to see this. You can send an email to go.info or give us a call or on this number to chat to us today. You're giving them options, which is great. The problem is you're overwhelming them. They don't know what to do. Right? You can either fill in the form, send you an email, or give you a call on 2 phone numbers. Just tell them what to do. Just give them one instruction. That would be my advice. Make it simple. Tell people what you want them to do. Just choose one thing. Anyway, that is my website review. Louise, you know where I am if you want some help making all these changes. There's a lot of good stuff here. The problem is you are drowning people in information, giving them too much information, and you're not making it clear why they should care. You're not meeting them where they are, I guess is my overall situation. Somebody clicks on your website, they are in pain, they have staff that are causing them issues, and they want to get rid of that problem. Now, whatever that looks like. And so they want to be in a dream world, right? And you need to talk to them about the pain that they're in and the pleasurable world they could be in. All they have to do is get in touch with you. That's all they need to do. That's all you want them to do. And the rest of your time, you should be talking about why they can believe that you are able to help them. But you need to do that in a less, I can help you because I do all this, but this, and this, but more in terms of let's share customer testimonials. Let's share the companies that I've worked with. Let's share the awards that I've won. Let's share, whatever else it is that you can share to prove your brand can be trusted. And talk less about, the bridge. Talk less about the HR stuff, less about your values, less about what it is that you actually do. And you will get more leads, more clients, more sales, and more profits because people will believe you, because people will see, yeah, Louise understands the world that I'm living in. She understands the world that I want to live in. And I trust that she is able to deliver that because of all these testimonials, all these awards, all these companies she's worked with, etc., etc. Hopefully that makes sense. As I say, if you want a hand, you know where I am. For those of you that listen along, hopefully this video and podcast has been really interesting for you. If you've got any questions, you know where I am. As I say, I've shared a link to the website checklist in the show notes. And if you want to get the complete consultant command center, I've forgotten what it's called now. I've been talking for so long. If you want to get your own perfect website that does everything you need it to do and is set out in the best way possible, send me a DM on LinkedIn, reply to one of my emails, take your pick, and say, yeah, I'm interested. And we will have a conversation about that. So yes, anyway, that is the end of today's show. Thank you for listening along. Thank you for watching along if you've been watching along. Hopefully it's been useful for you and interesting. And as ever, get marketing, because without marketing, there's no sales. And without sales, there's no business. So get marketing. Hey there, and thanks for listening to the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, then please consider taking a minute to help us grow by sharing the episode with a friend or colleague, or by leaving a positive review on podchaser.com. And make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming episodes if you haven't done so already. I've been your host, Nick Paninsky, and if you've got any questions or you want to know more about today's topic, then feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd be delighted to hear from you. See you next time.